And now to the news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received a phone call on Friday from German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said that the two leaders discussed over phone a number of international and regional issues of mutual concern, atop of which is Libya. Merkel said she is keenly interested in getting knowledge of Egypt's vision regarding the latest development in Libya in light of the country's presidency of the African Union. President el-Sisi meanwhile reiterated Egypt's firm stance on the Libyan crisis being represented in the restoration of national institutions, bringing an end to the chaos resulting from the widespread of criminal groups and armed militias, granting a top priority to battling terrorism and putting an end to attempts of foreign interference in the Libyan internal affairs. The talks also covered means of enhancing future bilateral ties, with the German Chancellor expressing its desire to broaden joint cooperation with Egypt in different fields amidst the increasingly promoted level of coordination between the two countries over the past years. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi arrived home concluding a two-day state visit to the United Arab Emirates. The head of state held summit talks with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Abu Dhabi Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, and had a tour in Abu Dhabi International Exhibition for Petroleum. Details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi arrived home concluding a two-day state visit to the United Arab Emirates. Before his departure, President el-Sisi and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Abu Dhabi Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, had a tour in Abu Dhabi International Exhibition for Petroleum, which is considered one of the three biggest exhibitions in the oil and natural gas fields in the world and the biggest in the Middle East and North Africa. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said the exhibition is a good opportunity to exchange experiences and best practices. Earlier, the head of state held summit talks with Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on means of enhancing bilateral ties, in addition to a number of regional and international issues of common concern. In a tweet following the talks, President el-Sisi said that he is satisfied with the brotherly ties between the peoples of both countries and expressed pleasure for meeting the Abu Dhabi Crown Prince. During the visit, Sheikh Mohammed awarded President el-Sisi the Order of Zayed, the state's highest award granted to heads of state and kings. The two leaders also witnessed the signing of a number of cooperation agreements and MOUs in the fields of manpower, taxes and insurance. The visit comes within the framework of the strong and strategic bilateral relations between the two countries, as well as the two countries' keenness on continuous consultation and coordination to face various challenges facing the region in order to maintain Arab national security. As part of his current visit to Washington, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry attended a ministerial meeting on Syria. During the meeting, Shoukry spelled out Egypt's vision on the Syrian crisis and hailed the start of the Constitutional Committee's work while its convention in Geneva. In their communique at the end of the meeting, the foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the United States, Britain and France asserted their keenness on the Syrian sovereignty, unity and territorial safety, in addition to their rejection of any attempts to forcibly change the current Syrian demographic status. The ministers also urged all Syrian parties to immediately bring into effect a ceasefire agreement earlier struck to halt violence in northeast the country. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry has asserted that the anti-Daesh international coalition needed to continue exerting efforts to achieve its targets and confront any country that used terrorism to achieve political goals. Shoukry made the remarks in the ministerial meeting of the small group of the Global Coalition to defeat Daesh held in Washington in the presence of U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and a number of foreign ministers. Shoukry stressed the coalition needed to pay attention to face thoughts propagated by Daesh, voicing Egypt's desire and readiness to contribute to backing such efforts and spreading moderate Islam through the Azhar institution. The minister praised remarkable achievements made by the coalition to defeat Daesh terrorists in Syria and Iraq. The top diplomat also warned against serious consequences of violation of the Syrian territories and the Turkish aggression on the Syrian lands. A meeting to discuss Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam takes place on Friday in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Ministers of water resources and irrigation from Egypt, Ethiopia and Sudan are expected to participate in the gathering with the participation of technical delegations from the three countries. The two-day meeting will also be attended by representatives from the United States and the World Bank. Ministers of irrigation from Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia are set to convene for meetings in order to reach consensus on the terms to fill and operate the dam by January 2020.